We're all ready.
Yeah, right here.
All right. Good for you? Come ahead!
Quiet on the set!
Hey, no texting in the theater, or you'll end up on our public service announcement. This is Michael Faulkner, and it's showtime at your weekly Podioplex, brought to you by The Chronic Rift. Starting with the weekend's box office results for Monday, June 20th. At number 10 is last week's number 7, Judy Moody and the Not Bummer Summer. Dropping one slot from number 8 to number 9 is Woody Allen's Midnight in Paris. Falling 3 places to number 8 is last week's 5th place, Pirates of the Caribbean on Stranger Tides. Sitting at number 7 is Bridesmaids, and taking the number 6 spot is last week's number 4, Kung Fu Panda 2. At number 5, with another $9.6 million, is The Hangover Part 2, which Time Magazine just declared as the biggest R-rated comedy of all time, with domestic earnings of $233 million and a total worldwide gross of $488 million. Slipping 2 places from 2nd to number 4 is X-Men First Class, pulling in another $11.5 million for a total of $120 million. Sliding into number 3 is the new release Mr. Popper's Penguins, with $18.2 million against its $55 million budget. Number 2 is last week's first place film Super 8, which added in $21 million to its total of $73 million. But in Brightest Day and Darkest Night, audiences gave the number 1 spot to Green Lantern. The new release commanded $53.2 million, which is approximately 1/4 of its $200 million budget. Green Lantern's take placed the film behind X-Men First Class's $55.1 million opener and Thor's $67.5 million opener in this 2011 summer. It was also less than The Incredible Hulk and both Fantastic Four movies, and the attendance numbers were lower than Daredevil and Ghost Rider. Despite tentative plans for a sequel, and possibly even a trilogy, some reviewers are wondering if this is the point where comic book action movies start to lose their invincibility at the box office. Are we on down times for comic book movies? Or has our recent selection become less than we demand as fans? The test for that question will be Captain America, coming in mid-July. In this week's new releases, audiences will either put the pedal to the metal or be hot for teacher. First up is Cars 2, starring Owen Wilson, Larry the Cable Guy, and Michael Caine.
How'd you like to come and see the world with me?
You mean it?
It is my absolute honor to introduce to you the first ever World Grand Prix.
Woo-hoo! Go McQueen! Oh, that's funny right there.
Lightning McQueen!
See you at the race.
Yes, you will see, Francesco. Like this. He is so getting beat tomorrow.
These Americans are clearly master spies.
Excuse me, ma'am.
This cannot be him.
Is he American?
Look out, ladies. Mater's fitting to get funky.
Extremely.
Then it's him. Finn McMissile, British intelligence.
Cole Mater, average intelligence.
McQueen and Francesco duel for that inside line as they head toward the first turn.
Lightning McQueen cannot win the race.
Instead of saying ka-chow, he's gonna go kaboom!
McQueen needs your help, Mater.
You know I'm just a tow truck.
It's his cover.
Brilliant.
Am I missing something?
No one realizes they're being fooled because they're too busy laughing at the fool.
Is that how you see me?
That's how everyone sees you. Isn't that the idea?
Mater! I'm sticking by you the way you always stick by me!
Ready?
Is the Popemobile Catholic?
Non ci credo.
You gotta be kidding me.
You might think I'm crazy. Hang around with you.
It's the American spy!
Hang on.
Now or never!
To have some
Dadgum.
Gatling gun. Request acknowledged.
that you're wild.
Shoot, I didn't mean it.
Request acknowledged.
I didn't mean that kind of shoot.
Deploying shoot.
Oh my gosh!
Make me a German truck.
Request acknowledged.
Check it out. I'm wearing Mater hoses. Make me a monster truck.
Request acknowledged.
What the?
Lightning McQueen, pit boss Tow Mater, and the rest of Lightning's crew enter the Race of Champions, a multinational event taking place in Japan, Germany, Italy, France, and England. This Disney Pixar film is rated G. The second wide release is Bad Teacher, starring Cameron Diaz, Jason Segel, and Justin Timberlake.
Are you excited for tomorrow?
Is tomorrow Saturday?
No, it's the first day of school.
Yeah, I'm not gonna go to that.
But it's mandatory.
Ooh. Give up.
Elizabeth, you shouldn't be teaching. I mean, I can't think of anyone less suited to being a teacher.
I don't need a blackboard or a classroom to set an example. So stupid.
Morons!
Hey, Elizabeth, you wanna, grab a bite sometime?
You still a gym teacher?
I am, yeah.
Then no.
Okay, cool. Well, awesome. This went great. All right.
From now on, my full-time job is finding a guy who's gonna take care of me. Hi there.
Scott Delacourt.
Elizabeth Halsey.
I'm the new sub.
How the watch? Is that a Jaeger LeCoultre?
The family business.
I love how his eyes sparkle when he smiles.
I want to sit on his...
Hey, guys.
Hey! So, did you and your wife just move to town?
I'm not married. I actually just got out of a relationship. She has such a big heart.
Enormous. If I got a new pair of boobs, he'd be all over me. But they're really expensive.
Yeah, and you gotta get 2 of them. Who knows? Maybe you'll win the bonus.
Oh, damn it! What bonus?
For the state test. Whichever teacher has the highest scoring class gets a bonus.
Things are about to change around here. Recess is over.
We're having our car wash this weekend. Last year's car wash raised $6,000.
Let's do this.
Whoa. Lauren Risman's dad called. He said we should have a car wash every weekend.
That's bonkers!
Anytime I need you, let me know. Anytime I need you, get me low. Anytime I seek you, let me know. But I plan to...
There is no way that LeBron will ever beat Jordan. Call me when LeBron has 6 championships.
That's your only argument?
It's the only argument I need, Sean!
Now, who has the answer to my question? You, Chubbs.
He's,
Whoa, wait!
Twilight, what do we talk about in class?
Don't throw at her, throw through her.
Sign my yearbook?
Hold my balls.
Dumped by her sugar daddy, a foul-mouthed, ruthless, and inappropriate schoolteacher targets one of her colleagues as her next lover, a plan that pits her against a popular coworker. Bad Teacher is rated R. In limited release, we start with The Beginning of the Great Revival, a chronicle of the events that led to the founding of the Chinese Communist Party. This film stars John Woo, Andy Lau, and Wei Tong, and is not rated. Next is A Better Life, starring Demian Bichir and Jose Julian. A crisis befalls Carlos, an illegal immigrant working as a landscaper in Los Angeles, who is focused on providing a better life for his son. A Better Life is rated PG-13. Conan O'Brien Can't Stop. No, really, that's the title of this behind-the-scenes documentary on Conan O'Brien and the difficult times in his life after losing the Tonight Show. This film is not rated. Celebrating its 35th anniversary is The Man Who Fell to Earth, starring David Bowie, Rip Torn, and Candy Clark. In this 1976 R-rated film, Thomas Jerome Newton is a humanoid alien who comes to Earth to get water for his dying planet. He starts a high-technology company to get the billions of dollars he needs to build a return spacecraft, and meets Mary Lou, a girl who falls in love with him. From France comes The Names of Love, starring Jacques Gamblin, Sarah Forestier, and Zinedine Solin, a young, extroverted, left-wing activist who sleeps with her political opponents to convert them to her cause is successful, until she meets her match. This film is not rated. And finally, we have Turtle, The Incredible Journey. A little loggerhead turtle follows in the path of her ancestors on one of the most extraordinary journeys in the natural world. Born on a beach in Florida, she rides the Gulf Stream all the way to the frozen north, and ultimately swims around the entire North Atlantic to Africa and back to the beach where she was born. Turtle stars Miranda Richardson, Daniel Braga, and Hannah-Laure Elsner, and is rated G. After last week's buffet of DVD releases, the June 21st slate is a little more Spartan. First, we start off with The Adjustment Bureau, the March 2011 film based on a story by Blade Runner author Philip K. Dick, in which an affair between a politician and a ballerina is affected by mysterious forces keeping the lovers apart. Starring Matt Damon and Emily Blunt, The Adjustment Bureau is rated PG-13. Next up is Cedar Rapids, starring Ed Helms and Anne Heche. Tim Lipp has no idea what he's in for when he's sent to Cedar Rapids, Iowa, to represent his company at an annual insurance convention, where he soon finds himself under the guidance of 3 convention veterans. This movie is rated R. Diary of a Wimpy Kid, Roderick Rules, starring Zachary Gordon and Devin Bostick, is a comedy about brothers Greg and Roderick Heffley, a new year in middle school, and their parents' misguided attempt to have them bond. This film is rated PG. The TV on DVD front has one entry with Louie, Season 1, a sitcom from the FX network starring comedian Louis C.K. as a fictionalized version of himself, a comedian and newly divorced father, raising 2 daughters in New York City. Let's finish this off with the quick flicks. 70 years after its initial release to theaters, the classic Citizen Kane is coming to Blu-ray. Warner Brothers is conducting a frame-by-frame restoration of the 1941 Orson Welles masterpiece for a scheduled September 13th, 2011 release. The release will also contain a 48-page book with lobby cards and the original theater programs, along with the documentary The Battle Over Citizen Kane. The Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles are being relaunched again. Along with a feature film being developed by Paramount, the cable network Nickelodeon has plans for a new animated show in the fall of 2012. Sean Astin has been cast as the voice of Raphael, while Rob Paulson, the talent behind the 1990s animated version of Raphael, has been tapped for Donatello. Jason Biggs will portray Leonardo, and Greg Sipes of Ben 10 fame will voice Michelangelo. In an interview with Entertainment Weekly, Sean Astin mentioned that the Turtles will be cutting back on the Southern California accents, dude, and the studios are prepping for preview for the upcoming San Diego Comic-Con. Zack Snyder is resurrecting the Man of Steel, and he may have found his Jor-El. Slash Film and Variety reported that Russell Crowe is in the running to become the father of Superman in the upcoming reboot. Rumors are also flying that Connie Nielsen may play Lara, Superman's Kryptonian mother. The cast already includes Henry Cavill as Superman, Amy Adams as Lois Lane, Michael Shannon as General Zod, and Kevin Costner and Diane Lane as Jonathan and Martha Kent. The film starts shooting in Illinois next month. 2 TV on DVD notes. Universal Studios has announced The Event, the complete series, will be coming in a 5-disc set on August 23rd. Universal, in association with Shout Factory and Fabulous Films, has also announced the release of the Airwolf original TV movie, which is the version of the pilot episode that aired in the UK before the series was picked up. That unedited, uncensored cut will be released on September 6th. Finally, if you've been hankering for the further adventures of the Autobots and Decepticons, Paramount has just announced that the film will open exclusively on IMAX and 3D screens 3 hours before the normal release. IMAX and 3D will premiere on Thursday, June 28th at 9 p.m., and then everywhere else on June 29th at 12:01 a.m. If you want to discuss anything you heard on this week's edition, please take a moment to get in touch. You can surf on over to chronicriff.com and leave a note in the forums, leave a voicemail at 888-886-9010, or write to John at chronicriff.com. You can also find the Weekly Podioplex and the Chronic Rift on Facebook. The Weekly Podioplex is a collaboration of Creative Criticality and Lucky Shot Productions. This is Michael Faulkner. Thanks for listening. We'll see you at the theater.
That's a wrap!